Today we are doing lesson 8.3, area of circles. Our I can statement for today is I can find the area of circles and semicircles. So our key for today, the area of a circle is the product of pi and the square of the radius. So area equals pi times radius squared. What that means is we use the area to find the area. We're going to do pi times radius twice. Times radius. That's what radius squared means. All right, so just like when we did circumference, sometimes they'll tell you to use 22/7, and sometimes they'll tell you to use 3.14, and sometimes they won't say, and you can pick whichever one you want. Okay, so I'm going to write our formula. Area equals pi times radius squared. Okay, so we've got 22/7. So area equals my pi, they tell me to use 22/7, times my radius squared. So I'm going to do times 7 times 7. All right, let's see. I'm going to make this 7 over 1. 7 over 1, since we've got fractions here, and I'm going to cross cancel these. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 7 divided by 7 is 1. So then I have 22 times 7. All right, and let's see, 22 times 7 gives me 154 centimeters. And then in area, you need to have a squared on your label. That's because we had two measurements for centimeters that were getting multiplied, 7 centimeters and another 7 centimeters. So now we have centimeters squared. Area is always in square units. All right, let's take a look at this next one. Find the area of the circle. Use 3.14 for pi. Again, our formula here that we're using is area equals pi times radius squared. We have to start by finding the radius. This is the diameter. So to do that, we have to divide by 2. That gives us 13 as our radius. All right, so now we're going to put in our information. Area equals pi, and they told me to use 3.14 times my radius squared. So it's times 13, and then times 13 again. All right, so let's see. If I do 13 times 3.14, I get 530.66 inches squared. Let me just double check, make sure I put that in my calculator right. Whoops. Okay, good. Always a good idea to double check what you're typing in your calculator. Okay. All right, go ahead and pause the video. Try these two on your own. All right, let's go ahead and check our answer. So area equals pi times radius squared. All right, area equals 3.14 times our radius twice. 6 times 6. All right, so 6 times 6 is 36. So I'm doing 36 times 3.14. I get 113 and 4/100ths, and that is going to be feet squared. Always using square units for area. All right, number 2, find the area of a circle with a diameter of 28 meters. Use 22/7 for pi. Diameter is 28, but I need to know the radius. So my first step here is going to be dividing by 2. 14 meters is going to equal our radius. Now we're ready for our formula. Area equals pi. They tell us to use 22/7 times radius squared. So times 14 times 14. Make these, since we're doing fractions, make them fractions. All right, cross canceling here. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. All right, so I have 22 times 2 is 44. And then I'm going to go ahead and do 44 times 14. And that gives me 616 meters squared. All right, let's take a look at this one. You want to find the distance the monster truck travels when the tires make one 360-degree rotation. 360 degrees is the amount of degrees in one full circle, so it goes around one full time. Which best describes this distance? So our choices: radius of the tire, diameter of the tire, circumference of the tire, and area of the tire. So here is my tire. And I want to know the distance it takes in one turn. That's going to be circumference. Okay, number 3, you want to find the height of one of the tires. Which measurement would best describe the height? Here's what the height would look like. Go ahead and pause the video and write down what that would be. Height here of the circle would be the diameter. Tells us the distance all the way across. Let's see what letter that matched up with on our last one. Looks like it's letter B. All right, let's take a look at number 3. Find the area of the semicircular orchestra pit. So if the area of a circle is pi times radius squared, then for a semicircle, it's going to be pi times radius squared divided by 2, because it's only half a circle. For perimeter, we had to add on the diameter because we had this extra straight side to it, but we're not measuring the sides, we're just measuring the area, the inside part of the shape. And there's only half of that there. So we're just going to do pi times radius squared and then divide it by 2. All right, so here, if we look at this, our diameter is 30. We need the radius. So that means our first step is going to be dividing 30 by 2. 15 feet is going to be the number that we use for our radius. All right, so area equals pi, I'm going to use 3.14, times radius squared, so times 15 times 15. And then once I find that, I'm going to divide by 2. All right, so I'm going to do 3.14 times 15 times 15. That is 706 and a half. But that is the whole circle. That is not half of it. So I need to take that answer. I need to divide by 2. And that is going to give me an answer of 353 and 25/100 feet squared. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and try these on your own. All right, let's go ahead and check our answers. So remember our formula for these semicircles, we're going to do pi times radius squared, and then we're going to take our answers and divide by 2. Number 4, 8 is our diameter. So our first step is to divide by 2 to get a radius. That's going to be 4 meters. All right, so area equals 3.14 times radius squared, so times 4 divided by 2. All right, so 4 times 3.14 gives me 50 and 24/100. Divided by 2, that is going to give us an answer of 25 and 12/100 meters squared. All right. Let's take a look at number 5. So again, we're going to start by dividing by 2 because they give us a diameter and not a radius. So 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. That is the number we are using for our radius. So we're going to do area equals 3.14 times 2.5 times 2.5. And then I'm going to need to divide it by 2. I'm starting to write my area too high there. Let me erase that. Okay, so 3.14 times 2.5 times another 2.5 gives me 19.625, so 19 and 625 thousandths, divided by 2, and that is going to give us 9 and 8,125 ten-thousandths yards squared. They did not say to round our answer, so we are not going to. We're going to give an exact answer here. All right, let's take a look at our last one. This time they do give us the radius to start, 11. So area equals 3.14 times 11 times 11 divided by 2. All right, so 11 times 11 times 3.14 gives me 379.94 divided by 2. And that is going to give me an answer of 189 and 97 hundredths centimeters